Hi everyone, I'm Christina and let's look at the main behind the theory. Lev Vygotsky was a Soviet psychologist born in 1896 and he was a polymath, meaning he was skilled in many areas like law, literature, and linguistics before he even dove into psychology. He is often called the Mozart of psychology because he produced an incredible amount of work in a very short time. Unfortunately, he passing away at only 37 years old. Vygotsky's career really took off in 1924 after a groundbreaking speech in Leningrad. He led a team of researchers known as the Vygotsky Circle, where they aimed to reinvent psychology by looking at how humans develop through their environment. His most famous work, Thought and Language, was published just as he passed away, but it remains a cornerstone of educational theory today. Context is everything. Vygotsky worked in post-revolutionary Russia, a time of massive social change. He applied Marxist ideas to psychology, arguing that we can't understand a person's mind without looking at the society they live in. However, because of the political climate in the USSR, his ideas were actually suppressed for decades. It wasn't until the 1960s that his work reached the Western world and completely changed how we think about teaching and learning.
Hello everyone, in this part I will explain the core concepts of Lev Vygotsky socio-cultural theory. Vygotsky believed that children's learning and cognitive development do not happen in isolation. Instead, learning develops through social interaction, cultural experience, and collaboration with others. His theory emphasizes that the social environments plays an important role in shaping how children think and learn. The first core concept is learning through social interaction. According to Vygotsky, children learn best when they interact with people around them, such as teachers, parents, or peers. Knowledge is first experienced at the social level before it becomes part of individual understanding. For example, a child may learn how to count numbers through games or activities guided by a teacher or classmates. Through communication and cooperation, children gradually develop their thinking skills. This shows that learning is not a passive process but an active social experience. The second concept is the role of culture in shaping cognition. Vygotsky believed that culture strongly influences how children think, communicate, and solve problems. Every culture provides tools that support learning, such as language, symbols, traditions, and technology. For instance, children from different cultural backgrounds may learn problem solving strategies in different ways depending on their environment and social practice. Therefore, cognitive development cannot be separated from cultural context. The third concept is knowledge construction as a social process. Vygotsky explained that knowledge is constructed through shared activities and discussion with others. Children build understanding by participating in collaborative learning experiences. Learning first occurs between people, which is known as the social level, and later become internalized within the child as individual understanding. For example, when children discuss a story together, they gain deeper understanding compared to learning alone. In summary, Vygotsky sociocultural theory highlights three main ideas. First, learning happens through social interaction. Second, culture plays an important role in shaping children's thinking. Third, knowledge is constructed through social experiences and collaboration. Overall, children are active learners whose development is supported by interaction with others and their cultural environment. Thank you.
Today, I will explain the zone of proximal development introduced by Vygotsky. The ZPDs refer to the gap between what a learner can do independently and what they can achieve with guidance from more knowledgeable person. This concept highlights that learning is most effective when support is given at the right level, especially through interaction with teachers or peers. For example, a student may struggle to complete a task alone with the guidance such as hints or explanations, they are able to succeed. This shows that learning is not only individual process but also a social one. Therefore, Vygotsky ZPDs is important because it helps learners more from basic understanding to higher level thinking and eventually become independent.
Next, I will explain about scaffolding. Scaffolding means support from teacher or more knowledgeable people to help students learn something new. This idea comes from the theory of Vygotsky. Teacher can use different scaffolding strategy. For example, teacher can give hint, ask, ask simple questions, show example, or help students step by step. The support become less when students understand the task. When students can do the work on their own, the teacher will stop giving too much help.
So, hello everyone. My name is Charity. So, my part is I will tell about the role of language and social interactions of Vygotsky. The first one is language as a tool for thoughts. And then the next one is teacher, student, and peer interactions. The last one is private speech. Okay, so first, language as a tool for thoughts is like actually language helps children express ideas and communicate with others. It also used for thinking, reasoning, and problem solving. And children also learn to organize their thoughts using their words. Like over time, external speech become internal thinking, like inner thoughts. So the next one is teacher, student, and peer interactions. Learning occurs through social interactions with teachers and peers. Teachers guide students by explaining, questioning, and giving feedback. The next one is the private speech or self-talk. Private speech is when children talk to themselves while doing a task. uh, it helps children guide their actions and solving the problems. And also, this self-talk actually can support the development of self-controls and also make the children thinking independent. So that's all from me. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Stephanie Tan Yen Yen. Today, I want to present the implication of Vygotsky theory in education. Vygotsky theory focuses on the idea that learning is a social process. He believes that students learn best when they interact with others. Learning does not happen alone. It happens through communication, discussion, and shared experience. One important concept is the zone of proximal development or ZPD. This refers to what a student can do with help compared to what they can do independently. It shows us that with the right support, students can achieve higher levels of understanding. This leads to the idea of scaffolding. In scaffolding, the teacher provides guidance at the beginning of a task and slowly reduces support as the students become more confident. This helps students develop independence. Vygotsky also believes that social interaction improves learning. When students talk, ask questions, and exchange ideas, they can understand concepts more deeply. Another important point is that cultural tools, such as language and environment, shape how students think and learn. Finally, Vygotsky encouraged teachers to act as facilitators, guiding students, not just giving information. Next, application in modern classroom. Today, Many classrooms apply Vygotsky ideas through interactive and social learning methods. One example is group discussion and teamwork, where students share ideas and solve problems together. Another example is peer tutoring, where a more capable student helps another student. This allows students to learn within their ZPD. Students also learn through interaction with more knowledgeable peers, not only from teachers. Teachers provide guidance that match each student's need, adjusting the support depending on the child level. Modern classrooms also emphasize hands-on interactive learning such as experiments, real-life tasks, and collaborative activities. Lastly, lessons are often designed to be meaningful and connected to real life so students can relate better and understand content more effectively. Next is collaborative learning activities. Collaborative activities are commonly used to put Vygotsky theory into practice. For example, group work allows students to complete tasks together, share knowledge, and build teamwork skills. Peer tutoring lets students explain concepts to one another, which strengthens understanding for both the tutor and the learner. We also use student-centered learning, where students actively participate in decision-making, problem-solving, and exploring ideas. Another popular activity is Think, Pair, Share, where students think individually, discuss with a partner, and then share with the whole class. Project-based learning is also effective. Students work together over time to plan and create something such as poster, presentation, or models. Lastly, learning stations encourage students to move around and collaborate in small groups on different tasks. To conclude, Vygotsky theory emphasizes that learning happens through social interaction and shared experience. The use of the zone of proximal development and scaffolding helps teachers support students effectively. Collaborative activities such as group work and peer tutoring help students